When you ask somebody in conversation, do you like magic? And they're like, no, not really. Get the fuck out of here. Who doesn't love magic? Well, I got one of the best in the business today when I talk to. But before we get into all that, of course, I got a little bit of business of my own to throw at you. Would love for you to jump over to waltzkitchentable.com. Of course, that's my website. And you can see everything that's going on. A couple new features. I've been having fun blogging. Got a link for that. And also put up a page to where been having a lot of fun being on other people's podcasts from around the world. Met some great people and had some amazing conversations, which you all know I'm a fan of. Check that out. Show a little support. They're doing what they love, so I can do what I love. And also, right on the front page, you can go to my YouTube channel. If you're not a subscriber, get your ass over there and do that. Would love to have you. One last thing. You want a little sunshine in your inbox once a month? Hook up on my newsletter. It's right on the front page. All right. And also Live Reseat. These guys make high quality CBD product and been using them for a long time. I demand a lot from my body physically, especially now. I have a 15-month-old son. Over the long weekend, that dude ran me ragged, and I loved every minute of it. But Reishi Rub, I cannot say enough good about this stuff, man. Put it on your sore muscles and joints, keeps you running. So if you've got anything like that, livereishi.com. Use the code word TABLE50. It's going to give you 50% off your entire order, and they got a ton of other shit too. So, but I want to keep this short and sweet because we're going to get on to the business. Welcome to Walt's Kitchen Table, where I feature captivating stories from fascinating people. Simon Mandel. This dude fucking spoiled me when it comes to magic. He is amazing. He's got a great personality and just a great presence to be around. Link in the show notes to his website. You can see all the stuff he's doing. I first met this guy years ago in Jersey, and I'm the type of person, when I watch magic, I just enjoy it. I'm in the moment. I enjoy it. I don't give a shit how he does it or she does it, whoever's doing it. It just makes me giggle and feel good, and I move on. And this guy did exactly that. He did some tricks, and it just blew my fucking mind. And I didn't see him for a couple years, and I went to some other magic shows, and people work on their craft and stuff, but this guy is, man, he's good. I can't say enough, and I'll keep going from here. All right, so his story is pretty cool, how he got into magic full-time and what he's been doing lately, and all the intricacies of becoming a full-time professional magician. So he plays the piano too as well. Nowadays, he is using his magic for good and spreading the joy through what he calls a theater tour. And he's going to get into that and let you know about that. But of course, link in the show notes if you want to know more about it. Without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, Simon Mandel. Let's get to it. Yep, right there. Says live, but we're not. So.
Okay, cool.
All right, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Everything you say now is going to be on the internet.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
It's been a minute, dude. You were on this, dude. Well, you were like the 4th episode or something, right? I'd have to look that up.
It was a long time ago, but wow, I didn't realize it was that long ago. That's nice.
Now I'm rolling up on 90 episodes. I don't know when this one.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
What year did you do the first one? I'm trying to remember.
I think 2 years ago.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah,
that's just almost one a week. That's really huge. That's great.
Yeah, that's what I try to do is one a week. That's my goal. Yeah, one a week. So I do a full length episode like what we're doing every other week, and then between the weeks I do a little thing called Off the Cuff where I go live on Facebook and YouTube for like 10 minutes and I just spit into the mic whatever's on my mind.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no notes or whatever I've been thinking about that day or the couple days before that, I jump on and be like, okay, see you later, and click off. So it's super fun, man.
Yeah, good.
You just coming from a gig, huh?
Yeah, like I did a show in this spot. Like I just hung up. I did a virtual show, so I just I hung up and then clicked on your link. So yeah.
So you were just doing a comedy show.
Yeah, I just did a comedy magic show. Yeah.
No shit. For who?
Oh, you know what? I'm so embarrassed to not know the name, but I have to look it up. It's
Man, I thought you were a professional.
well, what? So they were great. So I had a comic in LA had to cancel this virtual show like at the last minute. And so somebody had seen me at a private event. They reached out to me, asked me if I was interested in doing it. So I was like, yeah, I'll take care of you. And it was, it was for the homeless, which is awesome. So it was emergency housing and advocacy program of Freehold. So they're awesome. I have links. I just put up, the link is still on my social about that. But it's ehapinc.org. But
Nice.
yeah, they were great.
Hey, speaking of LA,
Yeah.
you hooked us up out there to the castle. Remember that?
Nice. Would you? Yeah. I'm trying to remember how long ago that was.
That was a long time ago. 2-3 years ago.
Oh, nice.
think so.
What'd you think of it?
The castle was amazing. I still use the little one-liner that the guy at the front door did to us.
Okay.
Because they had like a guy, he's funny and stuff at the front door, because as you know, you can't get in without reservations or, I guess reservations, but you can't get a reservation unless you're invited by somebody that's a member. Is that how that?
Yeah, it's like for people that are not familiar with it, the Magic Castle is it's a famous club in Hollywood that is, it's like a Victorian mansion where all the different rooms are different styles of magic, and they have all these great acts and everything like that. And it's kind of like a country club for magicians kind of situation. And to see the shows, you have to know somebody that's a member and like get an invitation. And it's like there are people that live in LA. Like when I'm out there, people are like, ask me if I'm a member of the castle, and they're like, I have been trying to get in the Magic Castle for 7 years, and like I can't do it. I've never met anybody who was able to get me in. And so I was like, yeah, here you go. And they're like, oh my God, it's like they won the lottery or something. So anyway, I want to hear the line.
So, we're waiting in line, and of course everybody's asking the front door guy to, hey, take our picture, right? And the couple before us, they're standing there, and he's just a flamboyant guy. I mean, I can't give him credit how he was, but he was amazing. He was so much fun just to watch him. But he's like, holds his camera up. He's like, all right, eyes and teeth. And I still use that line every time somebody takes a picture. I'm like, eyes and teeth. But I tell you what, man, the food, the place is incredible. It's amazing to walk.
Right?
Yeah. We really had a good time. The magic shows, dude. No, it was rough. It was really rough.
Really? You didn't like the shows?
It was really rough. Yeah. I don't know if it was because we went like on a Thursday afternoon or something. It was just a weird.
Okay.
And and it was all kids. So they were, they're trying and stuff, and I give it to you. And the kids were performing, like young performers, or is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. You might have gone on it sounds like you went on a night where they were like having some kind of like people just starting out kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah. And the food, I still have dreams of the food, dude.
The food is right?
The food's phenomenal. But then there's like the big room. And the magic, they had like kids coming rapidly. Like some would come up, do couple magic tricks, next. That was entertaining because they're kids and you're watching them and they're trying and it's fun and they're just, it was fun. But then we went into, there's like a little tiny room with only like 10 people can get in, and it's like auditorium seating. And then I don't know I can't remember what they call that.
Yeah, I don't remember. They changed the name. Like, I think it's a close-up parlor or something like that. I don't remember the name, but yeah.
The setting is really cool because I mean you're right there. I mean you're right on top. Oh yeah,
it's amazing.
But this was a grown dude. Oh my God, dude! It took everything I could not to walk out.
Oh wow, I'm so surprised.
Yeah, and it was one.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and it didn't ruin our trip by any means because then you see the magic piano and all the other stuff. That was a lot of fun. and then just the atmosphere of the place is cool. But the way I look, I love comedy where they're like, the best way to explain it is Rodney Dangerfield, where it's like bam, 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 jokes,
Sure,
jokes,
yeah.
punchlines. I'm not a fan of comics that tell a 15-minute story and then a punchline. It's like, oh no, I can't
sure,
do
yeah.
that. And that's what he was doing with his magic. He was sitting there and like just playing with stuff and not doing anything but telling the story. Oh, I was over in Egypt and I did this and we did this and this is 1,000-year-old thing. And he'd go on and then he'd go boop and do this little trick. And you're like, okay.
Oh,
All right,
wow.
Next. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
But-
wonder if it was like I'm sorry you went on like some special
it's all-
horrible
no,
night or
dude,
something.
no,
Yeah,
like
'cause it's I mean, like a lot of the acts there are just like unbelievable, like
Mhm.
top of the heap entertainers.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, they do have like things for developing performers and things like that. It sounds like you went on a night where it was like maybe some kind of showcase or something. Yeah, but next time you go out there, let me know.
No problem. Dude,
We'll make it up to you.
Like I said, it didn't ruin our trip at all, but I kind of had like a certain expectation to when we landed, because I talked to you, and so when we got there, I was like, oh, we're gonna see like this incredible magic tricks, and I didn't know what to expect, and I kind of set myself up for it. So, but it's all good.
Yeah.
But the place is incredible.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Oh my God. So if anybody's out in LA and you can get in there, for sure.
Hit me up if anybody here is out in LA. Let me know, and I'll get you in hopefully on a different salad night. Yeah.
Not on a what do they call that? Top performer night or a headliner.
Yeah. So they have. I think the big shows are generally. I think the big shows are like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I think during they have a brunch on Saturday and Sunday where it's like the performers are geared towards kids, and then there's other nights of the week, other things can be happening. So it's like it's the Academy of Magical Arts, so they have kids that are being mentored, and a lot of those kids that you saw eventually will be world famous magicians that are just killer entertainers. But it's I think magic is one of the hardest art forms to get to a serviceable level. You start playing guitar, you can learn learn a couple simple songs in a couple weeks or a couple months, but to start doing decent magic tricks and everything that goes into it, you're producing the show, you're directing the show, you're writing, you're doing all this difficult sleight of hand and being relaxed, you're engaging with the audience, really complicated to get good at. It takes a long time.
Well, and that does remind me, I think it was Saturday afternoon that we went.
Oh, you went to a brunch. Yeah. You went to,
Yep.
So that was probably, those are generally geared towards
The younger
kids. Yeah.
Yeah, because our timing, because we were traveling, we were going we were going from San Diego to San Francisco to San Diego on a motorcycle, and we stopped in LA to see some friends.
Oh,
and
nice.
Those friends went with us, and we had a good time. But
sweet.
Yeah, the next morning we totaled our motorcycle on the 405.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, crashed.
Oh man.
Sent that bike skidding down the road at 50 miles an hour, man. And Val and I went bouncing across 4 lanes of 405 traffic.
Oh my goodness. I'm glad you're okay. That's
thanks, buddy. Yeah.
Wow, that's intense.
With that, because LA and 405 and all the traffic, the first thing I thought of, the last thing I'm going to see is the grill of a Range Rover. I'm going to look up and get fucking run over.
Oh, wow, yeah.
But a couple motorcycles blocked traffic.
Oh, so wow, okay.
Yeah, as soon as they saw us crash, 2 or 3 motorcycles blocked traffic. They left their bikes standing. They put them on the kickstand. Wow. They come over and help me get the bike off the highway.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was pretty cool. But I got to tell you, though, you were talking about, people doing magic and, going through the steps and getting good and, and eventually getting, you spoiled it for me. You know that, right?
Oh, well, that's nice of you to say. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've been doing it for forever.
Yeah, but I've seen magic tricks here and there, right? And then when I saw your show, I was like, dude, what the fuck? I got to see that again. And you're just all like doing your thing. And then after that, I saw a handful of magic shows, and I'm like, all right, that's cool that you're doing it. You know, I always give people props that they get up there and try it and succeed or fail or whatever level that they think they're at or trying to get to.
Yeah.
Total props getting up there and do it. I'm not taking that away from it, but you know, after I saw you, I was like expecting that from every show. And I was like, okay, all right, that's cool. All right. I had a good time. We laughed, you know, when I saw other shows, but yeah, you're a phenomenal magician, dude.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
And what I like about it is you're just fun. Like,
thank you.
Yeah. You just make it a lot of fun, and you're just so high energy, and you're smiling, and you know, instead of all serious and
thank you.
Look at me in the mist, and hey, if that's your thing, cool. But I just enjoy your style of magic, bud. So
thank you. It really is nice of you to say. Yeah, thanks a lot. I got you know, I mean, it's not. It's more hard work than luck, but I was lucky. I was lucky that I was able to put in that hard work, because when I got into magic, I was already a comedian and doing stand-up and improv and acting and stuff like that. And like, I had the time to, you know, frequently practice like 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day and stuff like that. And like, you get good like a lot faster when you have that kind of time to put into it. So I was lucky that I was already like a professional comedian when I got serious about magic. But
what was like the pivotal point that pushed you in that direction?
Oh, thanks for asking. Yeah. I guess last time I was on here, I told my piano story, so I'll tell the much quicker version of that. But
well, there's just so you know, there's quite a few more listeners now that have not heard that story, dude.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll still tell it a little quicker. Just So I was like on a comedy. I was on a comedy track. I was like, was a funny kid, and I wasn't really good at that much else. Like really good at that much else. Like I could. It looked like I was either going to be like a comedian or a computer programmer, because I knew computer programming as well. And I went into comedy, and I went to acting school, and just looked like I was just going to go in comedy. And I was like, I had just graduated from acting school. I was really lucky. I went to like one of the best acting schools in New York City, and I found a piano by the side of the road. Like it said free piano on it. And me and my friend, I always wanted to learn piano. And so me and my friend pushed it with his car and had wheels. And like, I was doing stand-up and improv, stuff like that. And like my day job was like, I was waiting tables at this really fancy restaurant. And I just like had to work like 2 days a week, like all day, like really hard. But like, so I had this really weird schedule where I could like practice piano like a maniac. And so I practiced piano and wrote all these fun songs, and eventually I wanted to start doing them for people, and so I figured I'd teach myself to play guitar. Anyway, we ended up starting a comedy show in the city, and it is, I think to this day, the longest running free comedy show in New York City. It was called Comedy Party USA at this place called The Pinch, and they moved it to the Grizzly Pear, which was by the same owners as the West Village. Both great, really delicious food, really fun shows.
What a great name for a place.
Comedy Party USA. Oh, The Pinch or the Grizzly Pear?
Grizzly Pear?
Yeah, isn't that fun? Yeah. But yeah, the owner's a great guy.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we're running this comedy show, and a famous magician was going to be in New York. And this is during the days of MySpace. And he like reached out to all the comedy shows in the city. You're
aging yourself, dude.
That's right.
MySpace.
As long as this part of my face is reasonably young, I'm fine. As I've already lost this battle.
Hey, I'm right there with you. I think I got this. Nice hat, by the way. Nice hat, by the way. Nice hat, by the way.
You too. So like a famous magician from LA reached out because he wanted to do comedy spots with me in the city. And I looked at his MySpace page and I saw like Great Magic for the first time in my life, and my head like exploded. And I was like, what am I looking at? Like, I always thought like, magic tricks was fun. Like, like a red silk would turn into yellow silk or something like that. But this guy was like pulling eggs out of thin air and like reading people's minds, and, like being really funny while he was doing it. So I eventually befriended him and another famous magician who he was friends with, and they started teaching me magic tricks. And I had done some magic when I was a kid, but I was like really clumsy. Like I couldn't hold a pack of cards without like dropping them all over the place and everything. And I played music for about 6 years before all this happened. So I was like really dexterous. Like I was practicing all day and everything like that. And so I was able to pick up the technical aspect of magic and combine it with the comedy and stuff like that. And it just kind of took off. Like I had if you asked me at any point in my life what I would do for a living, I never would have guessed that it would be like a magician, like other than like, from the time I was 7 to 8. And then like, like, I guess I started like my mid 20s, and I got really serious about it in my 30s. So like I started like crazy late, like a lot, like most guys like who, travel doing shows and stuff, like the kind of shows that I do, like most of them like have been obsessed with magic since they were 15 years old. So
sure.
I started like almost twice as late as I should have. But yeah, everything ended up working out, like combining with the comedy and stuff. So thanks for asking.
Yeah. And then now that's full time. How long you been doing it full time?
So I went full time, like, I guess 2005, 2006, I went where it was like rare for me to do any kind of day job. Like I might like, work at a camp for a summer or something like that. Or trying to think of other jobs that I did on a short, like just like I helped somebody run an office. Like I work with autistic kids, which is really rewarding. So like I would say around 2005, I was already at the point where like it was pretty rare for me to do anything outside of performing. And then 2008, like I haven't spent an hour doing anything. I mean, other than like, I have to answer emails like all day, like everybody else that runs a business.
Yeah.
But
sure.
Yeah. So like, but yeah, I haven't done anything I haven't had any other source of income since other than performing since probably 2008.
Oh, so, yeah, man, congratulations, dude. Yeah, that's a hell of a run. Well, our mutual friend, Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy's great.
Yeah. He told me a saying long time ago, show business, right? Showbiz.
Yeah.
Everybody likes the show, but nobody likes the biz.
Yeah.
So the biz part is, we're doing the show part. But the biz part is all the editing behind the scenes and all the admin and all that.
Goes,
yeah. This is a very small part of the whole thing, right? So like your magic, your magic show is just a glimpse of all the work that you put into it.
That's a really good point. Yeah. I spend a lot more time driving and flying than I do performing. I spend a lot more time answering emails than I do performing. I'm not complaining. It's great, but like, I do have flexibility where if I'm really excited about an idea, like I can just go into like kind of a lockdown mode on that idea for like 3 days or something like that. And just like kind of let the other things like, kind of fall to the wayside for a minute and then like catch up when I'm out of that kind of really intense headspace.
Right. Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's mostly doing stuff outside of magic, but it's like, it's so much fun. Like it's just,
Well, dude, you got to get an assistant.
I have an assistant. I have a virtual assistant in the Philippines, and I have like a publicist who I just signed with and stuff like that. So like I have
nice,
people
dude.
doing. Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's exciting. Yeah. But yeah. So I have other people doing work for me, but like it's still, it's weird. It's not constant work, but it's like you have to be on like immediately, like it's like you're on call. So like all of a sudden, like I have to go into like, I mean, I don't try to push my show. I'm not like, when I say I go into sales mode, I'm not like trying to meet a quota or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like answering people's questions, but like, I just booked a show for yesterday, and I was running in the woods. So I was like, I am so sorry, I'm running in the woods, and like I saw your email, and like I can't get back to you for 2 hours, and I know this is like a last minute thing. Like, do you mind talking while I run? So like, Yeah, so it's but no, it's good. It's like it's just like just having the ability to like make people really really happy is like something that I never take for granted, and it's something that like I'm happy to put in the work outside of that, and like
Sure, because you know what the outcome's going to be.
oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Now, can you not sleep or think of anything after a show because like you're so high on what you just did?
For sure. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's just like coming out of a recording like this. I'll lay in bed being like, oh man, I could do this and this now, and I could do that. You know, I just get in that mode and I get all excited. So it's the same kind of feeling that I get.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's the amount of energy is crazy. Like I know you like I work out a lot. I know you work out a lot, but it's like it is so much easier to run or lift weights or row or box for an hour than it is to perform for an hour. Like after an hour performing, you're just like decimated because it's like it's such an intense experience, and like you're just like it's positive. It's a positive energy, but it's like you are just putting out so much energy that like you know how it is. Like you're just like
100%.
Yeah, you just
Well, you got to put your show face on, right?
Yeah, for sure.
In 14 years, dude, that's damn. Hey, was that piano in tune when you got it?
No, you know what? It's really funny. It was no. I mean, they threw it out for a reason. But yeah, I went to get it. When I started to like, I was selling CDs and stuff like that, and I was starting to like make a little bit of money doing music. I was like, I went to get a piano tuner to come and look at it. And he said, oh wow, like thank you so much for thinking of me, but like I hope you don't take this the wrong way. Like I can't tune this piano. Like it's a miracle that it plays. And he opened up I don't even know what the parts of the piano are, but he opened up like this door, and he's like, the baseboard is cracked. He's like, it's a miracle that this plays notes. And I was like, well, I guess I'll just, I got digital piano. So like behind me, I have Behind me, I've got my current piano, which I don't know if you can see it very well, but I've got this. It's like it's a digital piano, so it never goes out of tune and stuff. So, but yeah, I do miss that original piano. But yeah, that was. Sorry, is that my dog?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Whitney out.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, sorry, I'm bringing in my dog.
That's all right.
Good girl.
Hey, we're dog friendly around here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll bring up the screen in a little bit. But that piano was in disrepair, but it was, it changed my life. It was unbelievable.
You got a picture of it?
I wish I did. No,
I
have a picture of I don't have easy access to it, but I have a picture of my first guitar. And
that piano would be a good picture.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Huh. Hey, so I guess what's rolling around in my mind, and I got to ask you, is like these huge performers like David Copperfield and what's the one dude? Not the Angel guy, the other guy.
David Blaine?
David Blaine.
Uh-huh. So,
like, what's the deal with him, like, making the Statue of Liberty disappear and, like, him, quote-unquote, floating and all that? Like, what's your opinion on that stuff?
It's great. I love that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I consider you kind of a purist when it comes to magic.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I have, like... I have a very clear set of boxes that something has to check for me be happy doing it. It doesn't mean that it's better or worse. It's just like I have, if I was a bass player for the Ramones, I wouldn't want to play for, some kind of country band. Not the one kind of man. Not one kind of music is better than the other. It's just like I dig this kind of.
That's a good comparison.
Couple of styles, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
What'd you say? So
did you grow up watching that stuff, and did that inspire you at all?
You know what? I have a really strange story is that it didn't. So I kind of like, I always somehow flipped past it or was outplaying or whatever. But I didn't see a single decent magic trick until I was like probably 20, 23, 24, something like that.
But did you go back and look at that stuff though?
Oh,
did
yeah,
you
it's
do
great.
research?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for
and-
sure. Yeah, like I've read I've read hundreds, maybe like close. I don't know, because a lot of the books are short and some of them are like crazy long. But like I've read hundreds and hundreds of books of magic from different eras and stuff like that. Like kind of modern, cutting edge stuff, and then like books that were published 200 years ago. And so like I kind of I'm really big into like. This would be of interest to like the two magicians that are watching, but I'm really, I'm really interested. I'm really interested in like what magicians would call magic theory. So magic theory is basically like it's a set of ideas that make any magic trick work better. I'm trying to think of a simple example, but like if if two objects are going to change places, it's much better if they don't come near each other. Just like real simple stuff like that. So there's like hundreds or thousands of ideas that magicians have come up with where if you follow the guidelines, they'll take anything you do and make them better. So I'm obsessed with magic theory. I'll read almost anything that comes out on magic theory. But like, and then there's like methods of tricks, and then there's effects. So like an effect is a story that the audience walks away with. I'm obsessed with effects. Like I love to come up with different, like really cool experiences to give people. And, I want to make them look as real as possible. Like they're really happening. Like I don't want to do anything with like funny boxes or smoke and mirrors or anything like that. And then there's methods, which is like the secrets of magic. And I'm not very interested in those for a magician. Like a lot of magicians are obsessed with them. Like I just want to know enough of those to get across the effects that I'm doing. So like a lot of people will get really hung up on how magic works, how different kinds of deception works. And a lot of times the weakness that can come with that style of thinking is that the magician could do something where what's happening behind the scenes is incredibly interesting, but what the audience is seeing is, you know what I mean? So it's like, the methods are, I think the methods should be seen as tools, and that's the way I try to view them as much as I can. But I missed the boat on getting into magic, like in terms of being a kid. But I was obsessed with comedy. I was obsessed with music and all kinds of stuff like that. And it kind of, there's no better or worse. I think between performers, I think it's just like it's a matter of personal preference.
Oh, sure,
some people like love Pink Floyd, and like a couple people would be like, oh, I can't stand that kind of music or whatever. It's like, I mean, in that case, the people who don't like Pink Floyd are wrong, but you know what I mean?
I like how you said a couple people will be wrong.
Yeah. But no, what I'm saying is that like, it's like going to a restaurant or something. Like there's you might like this kind of food, you might like that kind of food. Like the kind of dish that I prefer, the kind of dish that I prepare is in these parameters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I think having like kind of a weird background kind of made me have a different style of show. Whether it's better or worse, it's up to other people. But like, I think coming to magic so late made it so that like I understood how to stand in front of an audience and get laughs and stuff like that before I thought that magic was interesting. So like I just like say again.
Well, I just like that because you had the comfort of being in front of an audience, either killing it or crashing, right? So
Sure.
I imagine you had experience with both.
Sure.
But now you had that or have that. Now you're now you're adding the magic part to it. So you're not trying to be a magician and never been in front of a crowd before. So there's not that added pressure to you. You're like, big deal. I'm in front of a crowd. Okay, now I'm doing this magic trick, or I'm telling a joke, or both. But I'm used to being in front of a crowd, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, I could see how that would give you an advantage in comfort level.
That's true. Yeah, it's kind of that's a really good insight. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah. I think
Now, where do you, the two types of magic that you were just talking about, where do you think like those guys, I call it performance magic, where like they freeze in a block or they sit on a block or you know, they're chained up and they're thrown in some water and all that. Like in your opinion, where does that type of magic fall in your guys' world? Like you're like, it's rock and roll, it's country, it's jazz. Like, where does that type of magic fall?
That's a great question. So again,
that you see what I mean? Like, I get your magic, right? You're on a stage or you're in front of a crowd, or the strolling magic, which is my fucking favorite.
Oh, thank you.
But I understand that magic, and to me, you have like somebody that's telling a story and they do magic at the same time. And then like somebody like you, where mix it up a little bit, but you're more of, that I remember, that you're more of boom, boop, 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 boop. Here, look at this. And you keep people guessing and keep people going.
Sure, yeah.
But like being locked in a bunch of chains and thrown in some water in a clear box and everybody's watching you, like where does that fall into you guys? Like as a professional, where do you think, like, what do you guys think of that? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's cool to watch and everything, but does it have it like own category?
That's a good question. I mean, like it's not really my place to judge that. I don't think like it's so far outside of what I do that I don't know a tremendous amount about it more than lay people would. But just say lay people, which I think is kind of weird. But yeah, so I think it's great. I mean, for a lot of reasons. Like it's incredible publicity for the magicians, and some of them, you know, there are. And I'm not going to name names, but there are magicians that are unbelievable at getting publicity that are just so magicians, and then there's also magicians that are incredible at getting publicity that are great magicians. Like for example, like Copperfield, like did a lot of big stunts and stuff like that, and he's a great magician. He's fantastic. Like, But yeah, I would put it in the category generally of like more publicity stunts than magic, and like some of the things that people really do. Like, you know, I wouldn't know if I'd imagine occasionally they're false, they're magic tricks. But I think a lot of times the person does just like sit in a box and see if they can not eat something for 45 days, and they're monitored by doctors and stuff. You know, it's really smart of them to do, and I think, you know, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I mean, I think that a lot of people that watch it are inspired by it or interested, and then other people are like, what is this guy doing? But I don't really fall in either one of those camps, I don't think. Like yeah, I was just wondering if it was like in the magic world with you guys as performers, if that falls into a certain category. Yeah, I mean, I can't say again. No, no big deal. If not, I just, you know, I was thinking that you'd be like, oh yeah, we call that X performance art, or, you know, you had like a name for it, and what that means is. I guess the traditional name for it would be like a publicity stunt, but I like that idea. Not in a negative way. Like Houdini did it. Thurston did it, and all the old school magicians did it. And
sure. Hey man,
David Blaine has become David Blaine, Copperfield, become two of the most successful magicians of all time by doing it, or having them be a part of what they do. And yeah, hey, so it's those guys are just a squirrel trying to get a nut, dude. You know, they're just guys working out there just like we are. That's just their job. You know, they find a passion in it, and they go and like, okay, how do I do my passion and get as many people to watch it as possible? Yeah, because the more people watch it, the more money you make, I'd assume. So, yeah, I mean, like guys like that, like I mean, this is it's not a hierarchy of like the talent of the performer or anything like that. That's not the way I mean it, but like in terms of like commercial success and things like that, like sure, like the top, you know, 1% of 1% of 1% of magicians are those individual people are industries. So you know, Copperfield is, I think, a billionaire. So like he's one of, I mean, he's got, you know, he's had as much commercial success as like a Beatle, you know what I mean? So it's like at the top of the ladder in terms of that kind of stuff. Like, no, it's great. It's great to see. Like, I love to, you know, it's great. Is he still around? Copperfield? Yeah. He is, yeah. I think I honestly I should know this, but I'm not a big Vegas show guy. But
he did the retiring thing in Vegas, like they got like a running show for like 4 months or 2 years or whatever, and he lives in Vegas. Is that what he did?
Oh, you know what? I don't know. So I was going to say that he did. A lot of times people will ask me, people, our age, maybe a little bit older than us, will ask, whatever happened to David Copperfield? And the answer is he's doing like 500 shows a year to sold out crowds. So like he had, that's what happens a lot of times. I think with Vegas is it is kind of it is like a Bermuda Triangle of show business, wdoes not in a negative way, but it's it's like a black hole where it's like it does, what you're doing doesn't escape from Vegas, but like you could be just monstrously successful. Like, I mean, there's performers out there making like hundreds of millions of dollars
in Vegas,
and that's great. Yeah, but a lot of them who were very public are now not public at all, like or not really pursuing publicity.
Sure.
Like they found the winning lottery ticket. And they're, I don't mean that in a bad way, but yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking that he maybe did the Vegas thing like Celine Dion, where you get they put you up in Vegas and you do so many shows a week and at their theater, like one of these big casinos, and you have like a 2-year contract and you just make unbelievable money. They pay you incredible amount of money.
Oh,
and you're the draw. I mean, that's
for sure.
Yeah, good for him.
Oh yeah, Copperfield's amazing.
Yeah. I grew up watching him and George Carlin.
Oh, nice. Yeah, both great performers. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say so. That's quite a combination, because if I remember right, Copperfield was kind of, he was pretty clean and straightforward guy and did his magic, and then you got George Carlin over there with every F-bomb in the world and tearing everything apart as a comedian.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite comedian? Or who is?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm just going to rattle off a bunch. I like Mitch Hedberg, Steve Martin, Eddie Murphy. I'm trying to think who else.
How about that?
Steve Martin, right? What did you say?
How about that with Eddie Murphy?
Did they miss something?
He's like apologizing for Delirious and his comedy shows back in the day because they were so vulgar.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. That was a different time. You can't.
I know, but it's, I hear what you're saying, but it's like, you might do something that's of a time, and then if it's still around in a different time, and people are seeing it for the first time, like it kind of creates an unusual situation, I guess.
Yeah, could you imagine putting Raw on Amazon or Netflix for people to watch?
No way.
That would.
But yeah, what I love about him is that it usually takes like a really long time to become a good stand-up comedian. I would estimate, like I got lucky. I did the guitar act and stuff like that. I did improv, and like those are things where I don't want to say they're easier necessarily in stand-up, but like with improv, people are just so delighted when you are doing things that are clever and interesting, and they know that you haven't prepared it, and you get like it's kind of harder to do in a lot of ways, but you get more credit as well. So, but what I love about Eddie Murphy, like aside from that, is like he was like a fully formed great stand-up, like at like 19 years old, 18 years old. It's like literally the only time it's ever happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
I love all kinds of comedians. Rowan Atkinson. I like a lot of comedians that are like very performative, like they're writers, but they're also like really fun performers, like bigger than life energy. And yeah, we've
seen some comedy acts lately, and because Val, my wife, works at NJ Pack in New Jersey.
Oh no way! I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. What
So-
is she? What is she? What's her role there?
Corporate giving, director of corporate giving.
No way! Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, of course, I mean, I pay for tickets, right? I mean,
Sure,
but
yeah.
I'm like, anytime there's a comedian, man, I want to go. I just love stand-up comedy. And the last couple times we went, the opening act is like crushed it compared to the headliner.
Oh wow!
Yeah. The Ron White.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's trying to, I'm a huge fan. So I don't knock Ron White at all. That dude has made me laugh for many, 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 many years. So he came to NJ Pack and I'm like, whoa. And it was funny because they had like disclaimers on the website, like careful going to see this guy.
Oh, wow.
Here's what you're going to get into. But his opening act, Simon, was incredible. He's a high school math teacher in Colorado, and he does stand-up comedy on the weekends, and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, but he was funny, and
That's awesome.
yeah, I went with Tommy, and then Ron White got on the stage, and I think he's kind of phoning it in, dude. I think he had I think he has some taxes to pay or something. So he did it.
Yeah.
But he did say at the beginning that this is his farewell tour, and he's just kind of checking in with everybody and doing all that. But and then Chris Red. I guess he's on
from SNL.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yep. And his opening act was phenomenal. We laughed so hard. Yeah. And then he came out, and I have all the respect when a comedian comes out and goes, I'm working on new stuff, so I'm going to throw a bunch of stuff at you to see how it works, So, like, they're preempting you to be like, what the hell is this guy talking about? And he went way longer than he should have. And he's like, is that my green light or is that my light? How they put the light in the back and they're like, hey, time to go. And he just kept ignoring it. And he's like, this is my show. I'll keep ignoring it. Yeah, it was kind of.
This is the headliner or the opener?
Headliner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chris Red. And then, dude, if the other thing too, if I started when he came out, if I started counting every time he used the N-word, I probably would have lost count in about 7 minutes.
Oh boy.
And he was up there for 90 minutes.
Wow.
So it kind of, it's like, dude, okay. I mean, do you really have to use the N-word 4 times in one sentence? I get the point, dude. I don't know. It was just kind of, I don't know. It didn't strike me very good. I was just like, okay. And he had a couple good jokes, but the headliners remind me of, I always used to like to watch college hockey, because those guys are going at it as hard as they can because they're trying to make it, compared to like NHL. They're like, hey, I'm here. Okay, cool. I'll work for it, right? So the headliner's up there just doing everything he can to do to crush it. So, yeah. But the last couple times, the headliner or the opening act. But I tell you, I'll give anybody credit for getting up in front of, 500 people? And it's just you and a microphone? And you got to entertain these people for 30 minutes or an hour. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. And you're going to bomb probably once in a while. And you got to get past that and keep going. That's a big thing, man. Kudos to you guys to do that. Whew.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I mean, I think that it's one of the things that I like about doing magic is like the magic and comedy is like, to bomb as a comedy magician, you have to bomb as a magician and as a comedian. So it's like if you're, if you're a good comedian, you very rarely bomb. If you're a good magician, you very rarely bomb. So like, if you're good at both, like,
you're
I'm not saying it never happens, but like, it's just like a percent of a percent kind of thing. Like you're like, and it's, yeah.
These jokes aren't going very good. Let me grab my guitar.
Yeah, for sure. But no, I had some hard times when I was first doing. It was usually more the venue because I would do guitar act, and the venue where we performed in the most was the only venue we ever had any problems, but it was usually great. But it was like a little stage and a little crowd, and then there was like a separate bar area that was not partitioned off. So there were people that were not there to see the show, and we're just like catching up with friends and stuff like that. And so like that would be rough because like I get distracted up there like now that I'm like, I mean, it's weird to call yourself a polished performer, but now that I've been doing it for a long time, like
congrats
I can be
again.
distracted and still do a good show. I could be a little distracted, but then I couldn't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard, but yeah, I mean, it's the thing that I think a lot of times people forget or don't think about with like performers starting out is like it's not like I think anybody that makes it through those first couple years, like it's not like you're going and bombing every night. Like you're bombing like 1 in 10 times, and it's just like a bad situation, and you don't know how to navigate that situation yet because you haven't been in it before. You've never thought about it. What would I do if this happened?
Mm-hmm.
But like, maybe 3 of those, like you're like the king of the world. Like people are just like dying laughing, and like you're getting like appreciation on a level that like you would get like maybe like 3 or 4 times in your entire lifetime. Like you're getting that every week. So it's like I think that like when you're first starting, you have no act, you have you, and like you're developing an act, and like if you're relatively likable, you're nice to people, like it'll people give you the benefit of the doubt while you're figuring things out. You eventually get good, but like it's like 80% great and 20% really hard, and then like that 20% gets smaller and smaller every year, hopefully. And yeah, it's.
So you're saying that you went on a night you bomb now, you can blow past that so fast compared to what you did 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to jinx myself by saying but like it's just like I think people are inherently. A lot of people think, like for the magic end of it, a lot of people think that they don't like magic because of like everything they've only seen like their uncle pull a quarter out of their ear. But like when they see something like really cool that looks like it's real, and there's like just like a fun, nice person doing it, like they're like, this is really like I'm into this, and I didn't know. So it's
and you doing a phenomenal job at that.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
I guess, too, which just go to what you were saying, is when we'll use you for an example, you're up there and you're so confident of what you're doing.
Yeah.
That portrays over. And I guess I look back at the Magic Castle. Sure, the kids are there and they're kids, and how often do they perform and how long are they performing? Not nowhere near. But you can see their doubt. And their hesitation, right? So that carries over to the trick where when I see you, you're just like, bloop, 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 bloop. And I don't even know I don't know if you're messing up because you're just keep right on doing your thing, So I guess that's 14 years of doing it though. Yeah,
well, it's funny because I had done thousands of comedy shows before I did my first magic show, and I want to say I probably did thousands of magic shows before I went full time. I don't know if that's true. Let me just think about it, because I was doing like 500 shows a year. Like I was doing, I had three restaurant gigs, like Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and then I usually did like 5 to 7 shows every weekend. And I did that when I first started out. I was like, I'm going to get good, period, and like I'm going to figure out how to get good where it would be impossible for me to fail. So I love
that attitude. I love that attitude.
Yeah. So I just did an amount of shows where like, there's just no way to not end up decent at the other end of the tunnel. So anyway, but like it's weird. Like I wasn't remotely nervous the first time I did my first magic show. Like I'd been on stage like thousands and thousands of hours, and I was a terrible magician when I first started. Like I just I did because it's you have to get good at so many things to be a good magician, and like a lot of times people, well, not a lot of times, but occasionally people like amateur magicians or people that do it as a hobby will reach out to people who do it for a living or been doing it for a long time and ask for advice. And one of the things I always tell people is that if you want to become a great magician, you do it by developing one great trick at a time. So instead, like a lot of people when they get into magic have an impulse to be like, I'm going to be a magician, so I'm going to learn 100 tricks or 200 tricks or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I
you
see.
don't want to do that because they're all going to be bad. You want to take one trick and just every day be thinking about like how to make that 1% better and 1%. Eventually you have it where you can walk up to a bunch of people that have never met you in their lives. They don't know if they want to watch what you do or not. And you can make them scream and like invite you to perform for them. You know what I mean? Oh, you got a ticket? Yeah.
No. You're good. You're good, bud.
Are you're good on your end? Everything's all right?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. All right, cool. Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. Where even with this, I've had people I've had people reach out to me and say, "Hey, I'm going to start a show. What's your? Oh, look at that!
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, what's the name?
Oh, sorry. This is Clara. I was just she was starting to whine. I didn't know if it was.
Oh, it's all good, man.
I think this is probably going to be distracting too, to be honest.
What's that?
I was going to say I thought her whining would be distracting, but then I realized it's probably going to be distracting to have a cute dog that doesn't want to be held.
There's nothing. I love it, dude. I love it. But
Okay,
but I tell people the same thing with this when they, they're like, "Hey, I'm going to start a show. Where do you want me to start? Where did you start? And any advice and that kind of thing." And I'm like, "This right here, just do these couple things and just get really good at it."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, when do I start making money?" Oh, dude, come on, man. Well, if that's what your attitude is right out of the gate, I just tell them right away, you're not going to make any money, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
People think that they're going to put out 4 episodes and they're going to be Joe Rogan, and it's like, come on, dude. That's just not how it works. So when people reach out to you, I love that. One great trick at a time. Just do this one really good, and then do this one really good, and then do this one really good. Next thing you know, you got 7, 8 good tricks, and you can fill some time with people.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, one great trick at a time.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your favorite magic trick?
That's a really good question. That's my favorite trick is almost always my newest trick, but I'll tell you, two of my favorites now. So when I first started out, the way that most magicians start out, and this is not always true, but I'm actually going to let my dog out real quick.
Okay.
The way that most magicians start out, and I started out this way too, is you learn pre-existing material of some sort. Like you learn something that was recently published, or you learn like classic magic. And I learned classic magic. I was really lucky. I got an opportunity to study with like my favorite magicians ever at the classics. So I learned like the cups and balls, where it looks like you're paying attention to where the ball is going to be under the 3 cups, and the cups are examined and everything, and people are watching really, really close. And all of a sudden, at one point, oranges start appearing, and their heads just like explode because they're like, I was watching so close when I just thought it was about the little balls, and now these giant oranges. And then it ends with a melon coming out of apparently thin air. Yeah, it's just a great trick.
I remember I remember that trick with you. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So that was my favorite trick for a long time. And then, like after you've been doing magic for a long time, eventually, it doesn't always happen to everybody, but eventually, a lot of people get to the point where like, all right, I know enough about like who I am as a performer and what I like about magic that I feel like I'm ready to start developing my own material, like slowly over time. So I started doing that maybe, I don't know, let's just say 5 years ago-ish. And like, it took a long time to get those routines to be really good. But now some of my favorite things are things that I do. So I FedEx somebody, like when people hire me for an event, I will FedEx them a package and it just says "Do not open." And then I will have a person randomly pick from the audience. Like it could be a contest. I could have the host pick. I could borrow a bill, and the person who guesses closest to the serial number, whatever. It doesn't matter. Totally random.
Mm-hmm.
I have that person up on stage. We've never met. And then I have them come up with like what they would do if they won like $20 million or something. And like a lot of times people will say, I'd go on a trip. And I'm like, where would you go? Egypt. Is there any way I could have known that? They say, no. How would you get there? They say, I would take a private jet. Like, all right, private jet. And I'll go through and we'll come up with like a dream, whatever the dream is, right?
Sure.
And this person is randomly selected. And then I'm sorry. Good magician, terrible storyteller. I forgot to tell you they're holding up onto the FedEx. So then I say, I have them confirm we've never met. I didn't influence them anyway. They could have made any choice they want. I have them open up the FedEx. I don't touch it. And inside the FedEx is written down exactly what they said that they would, I predict.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that it's going to be Walt. It says like Walt will jet ski to Egypt and, play the accordion or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
And then I turn around the paper and it's a poster of the person from the audience.
Get out
on
of
that
here.
exact trip. Yeah. So it's like, so that's my current, by the time people listen to this, I don't know if it'll be a closer anymore because I'm working on some new other stuff, but that's my current closer. And like,
That's
it's
beautiful,
just like,
dude.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's one thing that's nice about doing like bigger shows is that like, it makes sense for me to like spend all the time to put that together for the individual group. Whereas like when you're first starting out, you're doing like 3 to 5, like very, very small shows, like birthday parties or something like that.
Sure.
Like you just want to like get in and get out. And like, you don't have you can't, it doesn't make sense financially to do those kind of things for like the individual customer.
Right.
So
right.
yeah, but I think it's probably my favorite right now. Yeah. I love it. It's just like, it's so satisfying because like a lot of the stuff I learned when I first started out at Magic was probably just as good, but now it's something that like I created like from scratch or took a couple like very old ideas and combined them in a way that never been combined. It's like really satisfying where it's like, whoa, like I didn't know that it would ever reach a point in my life that I could like design magic tricks. So it's really exciting.
I have no idea how you do it, and I don't care because I'm one of the guys that are like, that was amazing. I don't care how it works. I just liked it. It made me feel good.
Yeah.
But you played a trick on me. I got a story about the trick that you did for me. And then I had another magician on a while back, and he did Chris. Damn it. I know Chris something. Chris Anthony.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, great guy.
Super nice guy. So he does this. He's got a deck of cards, right? He pulls them. He comes in, and this was back when I was doing them, live, together. And he's got a deck of cards, and he does the classic, pick a card, and all that kind of thing. And I'm like, all right, I got to pick something that nobody would think of. I picked like the 7 of hearts or something. And he did something, and like he's like, "Is this your card?" And it's the 7 hearts, and he's got my name written on it.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, I don't know, dude. That might be simple to you guys, but that was just fun. And
that's great. That's really cool.
And of course, he was a showman about it, right? So it makes it that much more fun. But you did something similar to me with, I think it was a card. I ripped it in half. And then you pulled out a sealed envelope from your jacket pocket. Or it was that, and then of course the card was in it. But then
nice.
I think the other one was, you had me tear up a card, and then it was folded up in your shoe. And you took your shoe off, and it like you unfolded that exact card. It wasn't.
Nice.
It was something like that. I was just
it was signed, right?
It was signed. Yeah, it was signed.
Yeah.
And the one in the sealed envelope was signed too, right? So
yeah.
And again, man, and I don't care if that's simple stuff to you guys, but little things like that are just fun to me. I just
I
really
appreciate
enjoy
it.
that kind of stuff, And are
Yeah.
those the tricks that you do with strolling magic? You like strolling magic, right?
Yeah, I love it. Do you mind if I run to the bathroom real quick? I'll be
Yeah,
right
no
back.
problem.
All
No
right, thanks a
problem.
lot. I'm going to take my headphones off. I won't be able to hear you, and you won't, more importantly, you won't be able to hear me.
Yeah, I was
I'll be
just
right
gonna
back.
say. All right, we're. Should I play the little music going do 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 do? Simon is on a pee break. So, well, I can fill the space with you got to check. I got to tell you, man, you got to check Simon out. Well, he's away from the microphone, I've had multiple interactions with Simon throughout the years, and he, as you can see, he's just a fun-loving guy, and he loves what he does, and his shows are amazing. And if you have the opportunity to go see him at a live show, or if like you work for a company that looking for entertainment like that, his stuff is out of the. It's not stuff that you normally see. You go to a wedding and, they got a guy that's walking around or a lady that's walking around doing strolling magic, and they do the little card tricks like we were just talking about. Or they might be able to read your mind or, pull numbers and do that kind of thing. And that's awesome. That's just entertainment and that's fun. But what Simon does is puts a whole show together. And like he was saying, can you imagine being at a show and they set it up to where something was FedExed a week ago, and then they put it all, he goes through the act like he was talking about, and you're just like, how's that fucking work? But it's not, welcome back, man. I was just telling people that they should definitely look into you for entertainment.
That'd be great.
This is a good segue into, do you still do like weddings and stuff, or do you kind of are you more into the corporate stuff? Like
Thank you for asking. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, give people an idea what level you're at, I guess, is the best way to explain it.
Sure, yeah. So there's a couple different answers to that. So the way I do it is I've got a couple different markets that I'm in, and I have a couple different like main things that I do, like events that I do. And then I also sometimes will get calls for things that like I've never heard of in my life, and just like a one-off kind of fun kind of thing. But like how I do it is a little different for every little subset that I do. Like for example, like the biggest thing I do is the biggest shows, the biggest contracts, that kind of thing are corporate. So like corporate, I'll go almost anywhere in the world. And like I'll do like conferences, I'll do like, trade shows, sales meetings, stuff like that. And like those are like a lot in the New York City area, some in, San Francisco, like spread out.
Sure.
For weddings and bar mitzvahs and stuff like that, like the smaller the event gets, the smaller the radius.
Circle.
You know what I mean?
Sure,
So like,
sure.
I'll do something for my next door neighbor that like, you'd have to be crazy to like fly me to Florida to do, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So and then like the bigger things that I do are open all year, and the smaller things that I do are like kind of seasonal. So
Okay.
like one of the things that I love is I perform in schools, and I tell kids about like it's a pro reading show. So I explain like how like the main reason, I think the main reason that I ended up being like quote unquote successful as a performer and as a business person at performing is like my passion for reading. So like I talk to the kids about like how like there's like anything you're interested in, there's books from like amazing people about that thing. So like you can learn to, make ice sculptures, or be a juggler, or, shoot a perfect basketball shot. Like it's all in books, and like the smartest people that have ever done those things have written these great books and like made it really simple to learn. But so anyway, like that kind of thing, it's really satisfying. It's really important to me. but it's not like it's not like these gargantuan contracts like flying out to do like a national conference and stuff like that would be. So like I can't do that the entire year. Like in the busy time for like the really big shows, like I kind of scale back on that. So yeah, it changes, but like the way that I do it, like my philosophy is that like it's really important to me, like to make sure that the people who contact me end up like better off than before they reached out to me. It's not important to me. Yeah. So
I love that, dude.
Yeah. So it sounds like I'm being a nice guy, which I guess I am, but it also helps me because like I care a lot more about like people ending up in good hands than me doing the show. And part of that is just wanting people to get what's right for them. But another part of it is that it's good business over time as well, like as a side benefit. So if you call me for something that like, I want this like incredibly dark, mysterious magic show that is like very, very, serious, and I want you to hypnotize somebody, like I know this person's like way barking up their own tree. So like some performers will say, sure, I can do that. And they'll go and they'll like try to do that as a one-off job. And they'll do like, the best job that they can, but not like really what the client deserves. Like I will give up the gig and I'll just say, hey, I know who's going to be perfect for this. You should call this guy, or here's 3 names, like whatever. So if people call me for something that I do, like, we can talk and stuff like that. But if people call me for something that I don't do, like, that's not a big deal to me to help them because like, I know, like, tons of performers that
sure
might be a better fit. So like, yeah, it's like, there's no wrong reason to call me. Like I don't take every single kind of show that people call me for, but I do I do weddings, bar mitzvahs. I do, like in communion season, I do like communions because it's like in a very local area. Like I'll do like 2 or 3 a day, which is not something I do the rest of the year. And like a lot of times people call me where they know they want to do something fun, but they're not sure what it is, or like
So
I'll give you like I don't know why this example came to my mind, but like one of my corporate clients is they're called La Prairie, so they do like skincare products, and the downside is they got me into really expensive skincare.
They got you sold. I love it.
Exactly. But they're amazing. They're amazing. So they do like there's a really nice group, like incredibly smart, great people, but they make beauty products that have like really rare ingredients in them, like precious stones and stuff like that. Like they have like a little bit of ground up pearl, and you put it on or whatever, and you just look like a movie star. I don't have any on right now, but
damn it, dude! You stole my thunder.
Yeah. But anyway, they were reaching out and they said, we want to do something special for this giant conference that we're having. We don't know exactly what it is. So it just hit me in a flash. Like, I know exactly what I can do for you. Like I can take pearls in my hands, like take like real pearls, like borrow someone off someone's neck, and I can close my hands, and I'll be surrounded by people. And when I open up my hands, there won't be any pearls in my hands, but there will be the jar of your cream.
Holy Jesus. They ate that up, didn't they?
That's what they said. Yeah. So they hired me, and it was, I think I had like 2 weeks lead time, and I developed all this new magic and stuff like that. And it was great. But after they hired me, they said, Simon, I want to tell you that we really knew we wanted to do something special. We wanted to be magical. We contacted 18 magicians before we called you. And then when you told us about your ideas, we were like, this is exactly what we were looking for.
Holy man. So do you think the 18 before you was just giving them the flatline pitch and not really, I mean, what? Holy cow, 18 people. Jesus.
Yeah, so that's rare. That is rare. Yeah.
Especially in your field. But how was I just going to ask you? I lost it. I was going to pick on you about something with a thought there. Oh, I bet you get, correct me if I'm wrong, I bet you get just as much joy or even more out of that 2 weeks of creating that trick than you do performing it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah.
Like
Really
it
good
excites you
comment.
it excites you that you're like, okay, I got to figure this out. This is a puzzle, and I got to make this work.
Yeah, it's funny. You know what? That's really true. Yeah, like I think that, like performing, it. You know, I've been performing for coming up on 30 years. I think. Sorry, it was 50. Yeah, going to be 30 years. And you know, it takes a lot of time to get good, but like usually things go very well. Sometimes it's harder than it is other times. Like sometimes it's like you know, it's just there are times when you're just like so in the pocket and like your brain is just feeding you perfect jokes like all night long, and like you are like just completely effortlessly in the zone and like in the flow and connecting with people, and it's like your group, and like that happens more and more frequently. But sometimes it's like you just kind of struggle through the show, and people's perception was that it was really good, and you know, compared to other magic acts they've seen and stuff like that, they might, you know, I might still get a lot of repeat customers and stuff like that. But when I'm in like the creative process and stuff like that, like it's just like this purely optimistic like frame of mind where like it's just like really exciting and fun. So like I think it's, I don't know. That's a really good question. Yeah.
I'm the same.
What'd you say?
I'm in the same way. When I'm in that creative zone, man, just watch out, because I'm just spitting stuff out and I'm having a good time doing it. And you can't stop me. You can't, like you said, it's just such an optimistic mood that you just, this is amazing. But yeah, I enjoy that. Yeah, I get you, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm actually writing a book on creativity. I don't want to shoehorn it in right now, but I'd love to tell you about it.
No, go ahead, dude. No, because we're gonna.
Is there where you wanted to talk about in that we're talking about, or?
No, I gotta shut you up, dude. It's been an hour and a half.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, it's all good.
You're welcome,
dude. I could talk to you forever, my man. I always enjoy talking with you. So
I appreciate it.
Talk about your book, and then everywhere people can find you. I'll have links in the show notes, but give me your sales pitch.
Sure. Bud. Yeah. First of all, it's funny. I told you I just hired a publicist, which she's doing a great job. But I've been so clueless about promoting myself, like, because I've been really lucky because a lot of people have been using me for like 15 years, 10 years. Like a lot of people, when they see me for the first time, if they have the event every year, a lot of times they'll be like, I'm just hiring you forever. And like, I'll mix up the show every year. So a lot of the things that I do are repeats. So like I don't want to say I've been lazy about promoting myself, because I don't think that really resonates, but like social media, stuff like that, I've like a lot of times I've been kind of too busy to really think about it, and I really want to make it more of a priority so that people can hopefully benefit from my ideas and stuff like that. But if you just Google, if you go to thesimonShow.com, which is on the bottom of the screen right now, TheSimonShow.com, thesimonShow.com. It has all my social links as I am getting on more and more platforms and things like that.
you gotta work on your Instagram account, dude.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I just figured out how to post text today, so.
I searched on social or on Instagram, and I was like, "Whew, I'm gonna bust his balls about that. That's for sure."
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird because like my emails are like what you would think a celebrity's emails are like. It's just like constantly answer emails, and like it's just like not all day every day, but like a lot. You know, it can be overwhelming.
Dude, you are a celebrity.
But no, that's not. That's a tall ladder that I'm, listen way up or something.
Listen to your humble ass, dude. You're a celebrity. Stop it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. But what I was going to say is that, like, if you look at my social media, it's a ghost. It's as of now, it's a ghost town because I've been so busy with the other stuff. I need to fix that. Mm-hmm. But I am doing I'm doing this book, and I'm writing about like things that people outside of creative fields that can do to be more creative in their lives. And I think a big thing is like a lot of people like I think people are both too hard on themselves and too easy on themselves at the same time. Like, I think people are just like really quick to beat themselves up and shut themselves down when they're trying something new. And I think that they can also be too easy on themselves, where they're like, you know what? I think what makes creativity work is consistency. Like
100%.
So it's like my show went from, this is going to sound a little braggy, and there's not much I can do about it and still tell the story. So my show went from being good and getting a lot of pleasant comments to consistently getting standing ovations when I started like really tweaking it every day. Like, I don't care how busy I am today, I'm going to make one improvement to the show. Or if I'm not busy, I'm going to make 20 improvements to the show, and just like keep chipping away at it over like a really, really long period of time. And it's like the amount you can do over the course of a year, if you like just make it like a little bit better every day, is amazing.
That's the exact attitude I have with this platform.
Yeah.
Just one thing, just tick it forward. That's it.
Yeah.
Tick it forward. Next. Tick it forward. Next. And then the cumulative of that, all those actions is what you're looking at now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I think it's, as you know, it's about like, it's about being gentle with yourself without coddling yourself. So you are, you're being good to yourself, and you're not judging your early efforts. But you are saying, I know that this is going to be better, and this is the way it's going to be better, and I'm going to move it forward every day. So yeah, I've been like, just with this, like I've been using the same process that I've been advocating in the book, where like I'm just like for a couple of months, I just like took a note card and wrote down, one idea, and then so I'm getting pretty close to being done with it, which I'm really excited about. I really hope that I hope that people get a lot of value out of it, because it's, I've been lucky where I've been able to do creative projects for a living for really as long as I can remember. Like, I did other things, but like I have to really fight to remember, like when I was a computer programmer, or like when I ran an office. Like it's so long ago. But it was just, it was because of what I learned about creativity, and like having, I think it's just like a mindset and attitude about like, being proud of your work, but always wanting to like develop
more. Sure.
Yeah.
There's a phrase that I use. I call it aggressive patience. So you're getting after it. You got to get after it, but you also got to be patient, because it's going to take a while to develop.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's great.
I like that phrase. And that's what I'm, and what you're just talking about with your book. And I like how you balance the hard on yourself and too easy on yourself kind of thing. That's very interesting. I can't wait to read it, and definitely send me over all the links and stuff once it's up. I'll be more than happy, obviously, to promote it.
I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And but we got to get out of here, my man. Got to shut you down, buddy.
Good. Yeah, thanks for having me back.
I appreciate you coming on, bud.
Yeah, anytime.
All right, man. We're going to get out of here. I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks, everybody.
See that? Time with Simon is time well spent. I highly encourage you to jump over to his website, check out his schedule, and go see a live show. You will not be disappointed. Also, just reach out to him, Instagram, and on his website, say hello. When you got any questions, he'd love to hear from you. All right, man. I'm going to get you out of here because I know you got shit to do. But don't forget, liverishi.com. Use the code word TABLE50. Rishi Rub. It makes you feel really good. It takes away your joint pain. Just saying. And also my website, waltzkitchentable.com. And would love for you to get your ass over and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, man. Remember, when I say have a great day, the motherfucker is silent. Till next time.